Chaos was the only word that could capture the madness that unfolded on Monday Night Raw last night. The atmosphere was electric, the fans were roaring, and then suddenly everything shifted into something darker, something unforgettable. What happened wasn't just betrayal, it was treason against one of WWE's most resilient warriors, Seth Rollins. The man once known as the Architect, who rose from the ashes of his own failures to become the Messiah and then the self-proclaimed visionary, was left broken, bloodied, and humiliated by the very men he molded into greatness. And as his lifeless body lay on the mat, one man stood over him, smiling like a serpent who had just bitten its prey, Paul Heyman, the mastermind of manipulation, watching it all unfold like the devil himself orchestrating chaos from the shadows. Yet, what shook the entire WWE world to its core wasn't just the betrayal itself, it was the aftermath. Because for the first time in years, a voice long thought gone echoed through the wrestling world. Dean Ambrose, the Lunatic Fringe himself, finally broke his silence. But this time, his wrath wasn't directed toward Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins. It was aimed squarely at Paul Heyman. To understand how things reached this boiling point, we need to rewind back to the origins of the Vision, the faction that was supposed to be the next evolution of WWE under Rollins' leadership. Seth handpicked his recruits with care. Young, hungry superstars like JD McDonough, Austin Theory, and the unpredictable and dangerous Karrion Kross. Together, they were meant to symbolize redemption through transformation, a movement that would redefine what leadership and loyalty meant in the modern era. But that vision turned to ashes in a single night. After surviving a brutal match against Finn Balor, Seth Rollins could barely stand, but his heart was full of pride. The arena pulsed with chants of "Vision, Vision," as he hoisted his championship high. Then, in an instant, everything changed. Karrion Kross entered the ring, seemingly to congratulate his leader. The audience clapped, until Kross suddenly struck, smashing his elbow into the back of Rollins' neck. Seth collapsed, the air in the arena sucked out in shock. McDonough and Theory pounced, stomping Rollins mercilessly as the crowd erupted in disbelief. Kross grabbed a microphone, his tone icy and emotionless, declaring that the Vision was never Rollins to begin with, it was theirs, and now, the so-called leader was obsolete. And then came the chilling moment that changed everything, Paul Heyman's slow, calculated entrance. The crowd's reaction was pure venom, a sea of boos cascading down as Heyman clapped mockingly, the puppet master revealing his newest creation. He leaned over Rollins' broken body, whispered something inaudible into Kross's ear, and with one final doomsday Saito onto a steel chair, the betrayal was sealed. The commentary table lost control, voices cracking in disbelief as they screamed that Heyman had hijacked the Vision. Backstage cameras later showed Seth unconscious on a stretcher, medics rushing him through a silent corridor where even the toughest superstars stood speechless. The betrayal was absolute. But the real shock came hours later. At 3 a.m., WWE's official YouTube channel uploaded a cryptic video titled "From the Shadows," a message to Paul Heyman. The footage was dark, gritty, filmed in an abandoned warehouse. A dripping sound echoed. Then footsteps. The camera panned slowly until the face appeared, Dean Ambrose, eyes burning with fury, his hair messy, his expression blank but deadly. He stared silently for what felt like forever before finally speaking, his voice low, deliberate, venomous. He told Heyman he'd seen this game before, how Heyman manipulates strong men, how he hides behind monsters and profits from their destruction. He said Heyman broke Roman once, and now thought he could break Seth too. But Ambrose warned him that unlike those who play games, he burns worlds to the ground. Then came the line that made fans lose their minds. He accused Heyman of using Seth, of turning his brotherhood into a weapon, and ended his message with the words, "Now you got my attention, and when I come back, I'm not coming to talk. I'm coming to end the name Paul Heyman." The screen then showed a flaming barrel filled with the remnants of Seth's gear, burning while Ambrose's reflection danced in the firelight before the video cut to black. The internet erupted instantly. Hashtags like #Ambrose returns and #Heyman War trended worldwide. Fans speculated endlessly about whether Ambrose, now Jon Moxley in AEW, was returning to WWE. Even AEW's own account posted a cryptic eye emoji before deleting it minutes later, fueling the wildfire. Insider reports began claiming that Triple H himself had contacted Ambrose for a monumental Shield finale, while others whispered that Ambrose had been secretly teasing his return through coded messages for months. Paul Heyman only added gasoline to the fire when he appeared on WWE's The Bump the next morning, smirking as he dismissed Ambrose as a has-been, calling him Jon Moxley, a man bleeding in bingo halls pretending to be relevant. That single insult shattered the internet. AEW fans and WWE fans alike turned on Heyman, united by fury. Hours later, chaos escalated further when footage surfaced from SmackDown showing Heyman's car vandalized, its windows smashed, and TikTok spray-painted in red across the hood. Security couldn't identify the culprit, but fans knew the message. Ambrose was coming. Meanwhile, cracks began forming inside the Vision. Reports emerged of Austin Theory arguing with Cross, JD McDonough expressing regret, and growing signs that Heyman's control was slipping. During Raw broadcasts, strange glitches appeared, lights flickering, distorted whispers in the audio, flashes of a symbol scratched across the screen. Fans recognized it immediately. Ambrose's insignia. The tension reached a boiling point when WWE released a teaser trailer for the next Raw. Nothing but a heartbeat, followed by Ambrose's haunting voice warning Heyman that gods fall too. Social media exploded once again, with wrestling journalists speculating that Ambrose would make his shocking return at Survivor Series. But darker rumors surfaced suggesting that Ambrose wasn't officially signed, that he might be returning unsanctioned, rogue, acting outside of WWE's control. On the next Raw, a chilling video interrupted the show. The Titantron flickered, showing Paul Heyman pacing nervously backstage. Then Ambrose's distorted voice echoed, warning that Heyman couldn't hide behind monsters forever, that when you play God, your angels fall first. The arena plunged into darkness, and fans erupted in deafening chants of Moxley. Moxley! Backstage cameras showed Heyman surrounded by security, barking orders, visibly shaken for the first time in years. Cross stood like a statue beside him, McDonough restless, Theory smirking as though he already saw the writing on the wall. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed down the hallway. One of the guards collapsed, unconscious. A crowbar rolled to a stop at Heyman's feet. The lights went out again. When they returned, red spray paint covered the wall. The Vision dies tonight. Heyman whispered, trembling, "He's here." Moments later, Seth Rollins' entrance music hit. The crowd erupted. He limped out, battered but burning with rage, microphone in hand. He declared that the Vision belonged to no one but him, that Heyman's schemes would crumble, and that tonight he would.